So I had the request, what can you say at a networking event without sounding salesy? If this sounds like something for you, say comment down below. And of course, subscribe for more videos just like this one. But back to the idea. I was specifically asked, when I'm at a networking event, I'm speaking to other people, I'm engaging, I'm there to generate business, to generate leads, right? How do I do so without coming across as being salesy or being aggressive or anything like that? Does it sound familiar? Maybe you've met the person who walks up, thrusts their card into your pocket and says, buy from me or call me or something like that, and then walks away. Do they get much business? No. So today's networking tip is going to be specifically how to build that connection, generate the leads, all while building rapport. Are you ready for this? Yeah? All right. Well, it's simple. Typically, whenever I go to a networking event, I go from a completely different angle. I don't go with the intention of giving out business cards. Never. In fact, I go with the intentions of collecting business cards. Those of you who've seen my program, 5 Secrets to Double Your Leads Using Only a Business Card, know that this is tip number 2, I believe it is, right? So here's what we do. Or this is how I do it and how most of my students would do it. When I go out networking, I go out with the intentions of asking questions, learning about them, learning their goals. This is how I do my sales lead generating without being salesy or making a pitch. I ask questions, I learn about them. My goal inside the back of my head, my real goal, is to see if there is something I can give them of value in 5 minutes or less. I don't mean my product or my service. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to make a sales pitch right now. What I am trying to do is to see how I can serve them. All right. So by asking you questions about you and your business, learning about what it is you do, what are your challenges, what are your obstacles, and asking questions that maybe relate to what it is I do. So being that I'm a sales coach, I may ask a question about what is the biggest challenge you face in your business? Right? Maybe you might say, well, the biggest challenge I have is we have a great team, but I just can't seem to get motivated I can't seem to keep them consistent, right? Okay, I understand. So the biggest challenge you have is really getting your team united, passionate, hungry for whatever it is, the plan or the goal that you're working with? Well, yeah. Well, if in that case, I just identified a pain point for that individual, right? Fun role play. In that scenario, I might offer one of my videos that I've shot. How to unite a team, how do you motivate a team behind your mission or your purpose, right? I think it was a video I shot a couple days ago. Maybe in this setting, I'm like, no, I have a solution for that. It is, I'm not going to give it away. You got to go watch the video if you want to see it. Give them a bit of a summary. If you're interested, I actually have a full video on this topic. Would you be interested in that? I can send it to you. Yes? Great. What do you have? A card. So what am I doing there? I'm not making a sales pitch. I just offered them something of value, correct? But what else did I do in that role play scenario? Well, yeah, I established one of their pain points. I offered them a solution to the pain point, and I offered something of value to help them overcome whatever the challenge is. I also gave myself a reason to follow up, to touch base, to reconnect. See, my goal in the back of my head whenever I'm networking is when I'm talking to someone and I'm asking them questions, I'm learning about them, my real goal is to find something of value to give them in 5 minutes or less. Because if I can give them something of value, something that's going to help them, that's going to support them, something that's going to position me as an expert in my field, ideally, but it doesn't have to be. It could be an industry white paper. It could be, those of you that know I'm a magician, if you say you love magic, I might find out what type of magic you're interested in, send you a YouTube video. Why? Well, because what I want to do is make an agreement with you. And most importantly, keep the agreement. Because on an equal playing field where we're all the same, if, however, I make an agreement with you and then keep it, where does my credibility go? Yeah, it goes up. If then I follow up and it actually helped you or you enjoyed it, what happens to my credibility, my position? Yeah, it goes up even further. If I then follow up truly concerned, genuinely caring about your results and how it worked for you, and based on the feedback you got or based on the results you got, was able to offer a little bit more advice, where's my credibility going? Yes. See, the biggest mistake most people make in networking is they just try to go for the sale. They're looking for the lead the sale, but they're forgetting the process that's in the middle. Again, that's another video we shot. I think it was accountability to numbers or something along those lines a couple days back. If you're interested, just leave a comment, ask the question, what was the link to the sales video? Type it in below, I'll link to it. Deal? Okay. My goal is to establish something of value. One, because it positions me, right? It gives me a reason to follow up. But the third reason, and this is the reason I really enjoy the most, is if I offer you something of value and I can help you in 5 minutes or less, imagine how much service I could provide, how much support I can provide if you hired me, right? This was just free advice in 5 minutes. Conversation, identified your problem, found a solution for your problem, made a big difference in this person's life or this person's business. Imagine what we'd do if we worked together. And the beauty is, by offering value and support, leads to the next challenge most salespeople run into. If you run into the challenge where you just give, at some point, and you might need some support in this if you're like me or the way I used to be, where I always ran into this all the time. I gave for the sake of giving and I never remembered to ask. At some point in that process, in the back and forth conversations, usually 1 to 2 value pieces in, I'll ask, well, this all sounds great. Would you like help with that? Specifically, would you like help from that with me? Talking to my imaginary person right here, right? Would you like help with that? Because here's what I offer. Now, when I've asked, would you like help with that? And they say yes, now I can do a sales pitch. Now I can tell them about a product or service or show them something or refer them to a website or talk about my networking program or my 12-week sales results accelerator. Guarantees a 15 to 30% increase in 12 weeks or less. Would that be something you're interested in? Let me show you how it works, right? So that is my answer to how do you network? How do you show that interest without being salesy? So if you liked the video, be sure to go, I loved it. Type it down below. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, for more videos like this, be sure to subscribe, like, share the video for others who you feel need to hear this message, especially if you're in a business community. But until next time, thank you so much. Appreciate your time and keep watching because we have more networking videos coming.